Time now for our Friday conversation with Stephen Jones here on your home of the Cowboys. Good evening, Stephen. How you doing?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing pretty good, but we see that about a third of the roster here is on this injury report. How much reinforcements are you guys going to get by Monday?
Well, we're playing it day to day. The good news is we got an extra today, and we're just going to have to use the different ways the NFL has given us to elevate some guys and move some guys around the roster. But, as I said, that comes with the territory in this league, and everybody has challenges, some more than others in any given year, and we've had our share, but we know that's part of it.
How's Deron Bland doing? Is he making steps in his recovery?
Yeah, I think so. He had a real good week, and it's not going to be good enough to roll him out there on Monday, but he's getting real close and feeling better about where he is. And certainly anytime you get guys back, I think it showed last week when we got Micah back out there, it can be a huge difference. And in terms of getting some of your better players out there, especially, you pay guys on the edge of the defenses for a reason. And, when you're missing some of those guys, it's a challenge, but that's part of it, and hopefully we'll continue to get healthier here as we move forward.
I know Coach said earlier this week Rico is going to be the lead back. What made now the right time to stop the committee approach?
Well, I just, that's something the coaches continue to evaluate as you move forward. I think Rico's continues to put the play on tape in terms of how he's doing. I think he's, for this season, he's averaged 4.5 yards a carry, which is solid, more than solid. And then I think the last 2 or 3 games, he's over 5.5. And, I just think he's earned it. And certainly the biggest thing we got to do is just continue to be able to do it. Obviously, we've gotten in some games where we've gotten behind, and it's tough to, stay committed to the run. But, obviously I think when we do run it, Rico's showing that we can run it and run it effectively. We just got to, do it more and more. And as everybody likes to say in this league, the key to winning is run the ball well and stop the run. So that's where we are, and we got to continue to work toward that.
Awesome. Richards filled in pretty nicely at left tackle. What's the Tyler Guyton assessment at this point in the season? Do you feel like he's improving?
Yeah, I think he's going to get better and better. I mean, he's got all the skill sets. It's, all these young guys, it takes time, and they have their moments where they struggle, but they also have their moments where you see everything you want to see. Certainly Tyler's that guy, and, if you go back and you look at Tyler Smith and you were to break it down game by game, we had moments where, there was some frustrating things in terms of some holding penalties and things like that, but, just really feel like we've got a young group of offensive linemen that will continue to get better, and certainly we need that, not only for this year but for the future. And I think we've got a good group of young guys whose era's pointed up and should continue to be better.
What are your expectations for the new wide receiver Jonathan Mingo making his Cowboys debut?
Oh, I look forward to it. I mean, I don't know if y'all have been able to get out and, see the guy in terms of practice and how the guy feels out of uniform, but, he's what you look for. He's got great size, great speed, and I just look forward to seeing him getting in the mix and, continuing to work with these guys. Obviously, Cooper had a tough game last week, but I fully expect him to rebound. That's consistently he's done a good job for us, going back to 2 years ago when he filled in and won a lot of games for us. And then I thought he really played well when Dak got hurt the other day in the back half of that game. But certainly we got to have better, all around from all our players than what we did last week. And, you can't turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over 5 times. That's a recipe to lose most of the time. And certainly some of that falls right in Cooper's lap. He knows that, and I fully expect him to play better.
Hey, Stephen, I'm giving you credit for going in and asking the coaches if they'd rush Overshown more on some blitz package stuff. So congratulations on that.
Well, I was the only one who wanted to draft him on draft day.
That's right. You pounded the table for him.
There we go.
I'm joking.
I know, yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he's a football player.
Sure.
And just got to keep him rolling. And I think he's got unique abilities to make plays. And, that's what you look for in this league, guys who can make plays that make a difference. And he was doing that early against Philly. It's too bad he had the bursitis injury, but the flip side of that, we're thrilled that it wasn't a long-term injury. So he'll be back out there. Should be back out here against the Texans, and he's an exciting guy to watch.
He's been fantastic, but he's also a Texas Longhorn, and your Arkansas football team is hosting Texas. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about how that rivalry is? Like, it seems like the Hogs really do hate the Horns.
Well, it's hard. I grew up a Razorback, played there. Jerry played there. My son played there. Unfortunately, my daughters were Longhorns, all three of them, and my son-in-laws are all Longhorns. So it's a divided family. And Charlotte's son Paxton played at Texas, and so it's an interesting time when the Hogs and the Horns. I will say it's probably a bigger game for the Hogs than it is the Horns. I think they have a couple other rivalries that were probably bigger for them than it was for the Hogs playing Texas. But it's going to be a fun game Saturday, and I hope they overlook us because we need that, and maybe we can sneak up on them and surprise them. But Texas has a great football team, and Coach Sark's doing a great job with that group, and obviously our Hogs are going to have their hands full, but we'll have a big crew up there, and looking forward to it. But we certainly, our Razorbacks got our hands full.
Yeah, I was just wondering, as the Joneses and as alumni in this NIL era, what's it like being such a supporter of your guys' level? Are fans constantly asking you to buy players? I mean, how's this thing go from your perspective in this new era of college football?
Well, our response is we've got a big enough payroll. We don't need more payroll.
Steve Jones.
In all seriousness, that is the facts. And, believe it or not, there's actually, some parameters around the league and, NCAA football players, as you can imagine, NIL rules that pertain to NFL owners. And, they're all things that make sense. And you got to obviously take that into an account. We all root for our guys, and just like any major university or even small universities, whatever you want to call them, everybody's got some alumni who've done pretty well in their day and can dig deep, I'm sure, when they want to and have to. And it's interesting times for these universities, these colleges, and these young college athletes.
Stephen, Jerry told an interesting story on you today about a boxer that you got in the ring on, being with the boxing going on at the stadium. What are your memories about Otis Bates? And
old Otis Bates, I do. I remember him well.
Now, Jerry described it as your headgear got knocked sideways where you were looking out your ear hole. He said you landed the first punch, but it was a mad scramble to get you out of that ring when Otis started getting into his boxing mode.
Well, I thought he left out. The looking out of the ear hole was the least part of it. The fact my nose was squirting blood everywhere, and the rest of it was more important to me than looking out an ear hole. And of course, I still don't think he was that worried about me. He just wanted me to promise I wouldn't tell my mother.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah.
And so I had my hands full, but I must admit, I got in there. The rules were he was only supposed to hit me below the shoulders.
Yeah.
And so, I think he let his guard down, and I decided to take the shot, and I hit him on the end of the nose. And, of course, all I did was make him a little more pissed. And the rest is history. I shouldn't have been in the ring with him.
What were you thinking walking in, though? I mean, you're 16 years old. You're a big, strong kid. Were you confident?
I was, I thought as long as he wouldn't hit me and that shows how naive I was. Little did I know you'd get knocked out getting hit in the ribs. but I did get coached up good to protect my ribs. But unfortunately, I worry about myself mentally a little bit that I wasn't more worried about doing it. I was kind of, hey, hell, I'll do this. Let's roll.
Steve,
maybe I'm missing something upstairs.
it is Stephen Jones with us here on The Fan. So what's your level of interest for the fight tonight?
Oh, I'm getting ready to head that way. Wanted to knock this out with you guys, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I'm my thoughts on it. I'm sure Tyson hopes he gets the job done in the first round, because after that, the longer it goes, I think it goes to the younger guy, Paul.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Yep.
I mean, you have to have been like us, where in the 80s, in his climb, in his heyday, it was an event as big as anything that we've experienced, right?
Oh, I was blessed enough to get to go watch several of his fights in person, and he was amazing. I mean, and not that he's still not an amazing man, but what a champ, and he brought a lot of great entertainment to the boxing world and everybody. I mean, you had to pay attention time you're talking about a heavyweight champ, but he was something, and I enjoyed all the times I got to watch him fight, and I'm going to enjoy tonight too. I respect him that he's going to give it a run, and deep down, nothing against Paul, but I'm rooting for this. I'm rooting for Mike, so hope something good happens for him, because when you're my age, you root for the old guy.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this, and I'm right there with you. Now, speaking of legends, and back to the Cowboys here, Steven, I don't want to be respectful to the right guard, but do we need to make sure that we appreciate the time left with Zach Martin? I mean, how's the organization looking at this next 7 games for the future Hall of Famer?
Well, he's an amazing player, but a more amazing man. We've been so blessed to have him, wear the star, be a part of the Cowboys, and I don't know what his final decisions will be after this year, but the guy's just been a badass, and both on and off the field, he represents everything you want in a Dallas Cowboy football player. And I just at the end of the day, you just hope and wish we could figure out how to do something miraculous here to get him something if this is his last year, which only he can speak to that. But the guy's just obviously been one of the best guys to ever walk through the door, best football players, period, much less offensive lineman. And, of course, he's got a lot of company between guys like Larry Allen and Tyron Smith and guys like that. But Zach Martin's a special individual, and he'll go down as one of the great ones. I'm sure his name will be on that ring up there, and I'm sure he'll be wearing a yellow jacket as well sooner than later.
Appreciate the time as always, Steven. Enjoy the fight. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy being on with you.